Hi everyone, welcome to Miss Adams Predicts Jekyll and Hyde. This video is looking at the Edexcel exam board. We'll have a look at all the past papers and the samples and specimens just to see if we can spot any trends or patterns across the extracts and the wider questions as well. We don't have crystal balls, so please don't rely entirely on prediction videos. Make sure you're revising broadly and widely. But for now, let's get started. Okay, so last year was gorgeous because we got Remarkable Incident of Dr. Lanyon, which we'd been hoping for. Really nice one where he's all shocked and ill. Year before that, we had the full statement, also gorgeous one because we had the first transformation into Hyde, Incident at the Window. We've had the letter for Lab and Cabinet. Search for Mr. Hyde has come up, but weirdly it was presentation of Lanyon rather than Utterson and Hyde, so that's a possible. You can read the rest. So, thoughts, end of the novel. You know, if you actually look, if you think full statement of the case has come up in 2023, but it hasn't come up again, and it's like a quarter to a third of the whole novella. So, you know, I think there's plenty that they could call upon there, but I wonder if like the actual ending where you're getting the kind of the sort of sign off. So that's a possible. Wouldn't it be lovely if they just gave us Carew? That would be so good because again, Carew has come up in the sample, but it's not the violence, it's the journey. So that would be, if they were being kind, that would be lovely. Likewise, we've had Story of the Door here in the specimen, presentation of Enfield. Maybe it's time that that got examined properly. It could lead to a question on setting, which would be lovely as well. Now, I've put Mr. Utterson up because if you look down all of the Ujmawats, he's not come up as a subject, which is interesting because he's in almost any, well, he's in all of the chapters bar the last two that that go into the different narrative perspectives. So anything really where you're getting Mr. Utterson's thoughts and feelings, fears could be possible. It's very difficult to predict an extract. So what I would suggest you do is grab your book and open it at random, look at the page and think, right, what would the question be? What would I find? Do it again until you feel confident. Okay? Now, wider. So last year was death. Through people, actually, I'm not sure that people loved the death question because I think people were nervous about talking about Lanyon. But you could, because the extract, you know, was the first one, you could use the second chapter from his perspective. But we had death, had bad behaviour, friendships, Hyde's importance, reputation, Utterson, etc., etc., etc. So, what would we like? Jekyll. We'd like Jekyll. You know, Jekyll as a moral character, Jekyll as a scientist, the importance of Jekyll. That would be great. Now, I don't know how I feel about this one. Duality is obviously the biggest theme of the entire novel. Would an examiner use the word duality in the exam paper? I don't know. But I'm never going to not have it up there because it's such a big theme. Science, the importance of science, which would lend you to kind of compare Lanyon and Jekyll, would be nice. Transformations, easy peasy, really. Well, it's not just a Hyde question because you've got a number of characters that transform or change, but you've got a lot of, you know, wiggle room there. I wonder about setting. It's come up in the sample. As we know, exam boards are repeating material. It would be lovely. It would be lovely if you got setting because it's so symbolic. Illness, I thought as a possible, might be a bit close to Lanyon from last year. And then other thoughts that I had, you know, we've had Terror in 2018 and Hyde here. I wonder if they might bring back something about fear, or in total contrast to that, if they wanted to do something a little bit more Utterson-y, the significance of logic or reason might be, I mean, that would be hard, but it's worth thinking outside the box and thinking, what are the kind of harder things that we wouldn't like? I mean, for crying out loud, the first year they did Help and everyone freaked out. But you know what I'm going to say? Revise broadly and widely, and then you'll be all right. characters, themes, everything will be golden. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, do share my video with your buddies, and most of all, happy revising.